Hey everyone, welcome to the show Jazzy After Dark. I'm your host Jazzy K. Ward, and thank you so much for being patient tonight with the technical difficulties that we were experiencing. We're still experiencing, but you know what? The show must go on. And I'm so excited to have with you tonight a very special guest who has been very patient, national recording artist and composer, Mr. Frank Primbo is my special guest tonight. Welcome to the show, Frank. Are you there?
Thank you so much, Jazz. And you know what? You know the old saying, better late than never.
That is that. Hey, that
I
Frank. I'm
just
not sure if it's just, we're having some bad weather down here. I have no idea what's
that's
going on.
okay. And then don't worry about it. It's fine. Everything, all is good. All is good.
All is good. And again, thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Artist Talk, and I'm just so excited to have you here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on your show. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so just to start off with you, Frank, just with the pandemic going on and you and your family, so how are you all panding out during this time?
We're doing well. We started off kind of rough, where you had to try to stay in your house most of the time, and then as the time went on, to now where we're able to actually go and eat at a restaurant, sit
All
outside,
right.
and feel normal, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but the thing with us is, you worry about your children, your grandchildren, and people, your family, and then your friends and everything. So we've been fortunate not to
Yeah.
have any of that affect our friends, family right now. Thank you.
Oh, great. Yeah, you're welcome. So I'm sure, with all of this going on, you've been creating some amazing music. I follow you on and everything, and we're gonna talk about, your new single, Love That Smooth Latte. We're gonna talk about green lights and rainbows, after
Uh,
hours. You're gonna perform with us. But
yeah,
just so our listeners and all of those who are streaming tonight, again, thank you so much for joining us on Jazzy After Dark. Our special guest tonight is national recording artist, Mr. Frank Primbo. And Frank, am I saying your last name correct?
well, okay, so it's Piombo.
Piombo.
That's correct.
Gotcha. Piombo. Right.
P, 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 Piombo. Ambo.
Piombo.
Yeah, you got it now.
Piombo.
Yes.
So I wanted to make sure I had that correct. But just for those who don't know you, and I was reading your bio,
Yes.
and when I thought about your last name, I said, I wonder like where is he from? And I
Okay.
saw where you were born in North Africa.
Yes, I was. I was born in Libya, Tripoli, to Italian parents. So
Okay.
at one point in time, the whole northern Africa was, I guess, was run by the Italian government.
Okay.
Uh, uh, this is pre like Mussolini, before World War II and sorts. So when I was born, I was actually my citizenship was Italian, even though I was born in Africa. Um,
Okay.
but I don't remember too much. I left there when I was 6.5 years old.
Okay.
All I remember is the palm trees and the beautiful ocean,
Oh
and
wow.
yeah, and then my father actually came to the United States in 1957.
Okay.
His family brought him over, and so during that one year, because we came in '58, so during that one year, we went back to Rome and stayed with my mother's family for a year.
Okay. Okay.
So
Wow.
yeah, I attended school up to second grade in Italy.
In Italy. Yeah, and also your tell us a little. Where's I always ask guests. Was music always your passion, your first passion in music?
Uh, the only thing I can remember, and I was only 3 years old, but um, my mom and dad told me that's exactly what used to happen. I used to lock myself in my grandfather's closet with his guitar. He played guitar, and unfortunately, I never got to meet my grandfather. He died very young in his early 50s. So I used to, they used to find me in the closet just strumming the guitar at the age of
Okay.
3. So
Oh wow.
then yes, and when we finally hit we came to the United States in 1958. So
Okay.
now forward about 6, 7 years after that, when it was like 63, 64 when the Beatles came out. Uh,
Right.
I all of a sudden something just snapped in my ears. I said,
Wow.
"There's something about this, music in general," and I couldn't remember what it was all about. I couldn't go back till I was 3 years old. Didn't remember much of that. Only my parents used to tell me. So at the age of 13, I start taking lessons. I start studying
Okay.
guitar.
Okay.
And by the age of 17, 18, I was playing all the local clubs with an ABC card, of course, because I wasn't 21 at the time. Uh, until they changed that rule to 21. Then I was over 21. It didn't matter anymore. So
Okay.
yeah, so I did that, for many years. We're talking going back to 1969, 1970.
Wow.
When I started in this business. I worked with many bands,
Okay.
many bands, whether they
Okay.
were show bands, whether they were wedding bands. Uh, just we toured, Philly, New York, New Jersey, stayed in the Tri-City area,
Okay.
and did that for a long time. And then when I reached the age of 42, that was a long time ago, I decided to stop playing the guitar.
Wow.
So I put it in, yeah, yeah. I put it down for 10 years,
Oh.
and I started getting into other music businesses. And at one point, I said to myself, look, I need to study again, but I want to learn how to play the guitar from scratch, from
Oh
like
wow.
I've never played. Because, I was a rocker,
Hmm.
commercial music where, just, 4 or 5 chords. No 13s, no diminishes, no augmented chords. So I said, if I can find someone that I can study with
Hmm.
and learn something from this, I'm going to do it again. So at
Right.
the age of 52, I found the perfect teacher that I tried to get when I was in my early 20s, but he was too busy to deal with anybody else. His schedule was so full. So I
Okay.
got in touch with him. His name is Sandy Renda. He's still my
Okay.
mentor
Okay.
and my friend. He's done so much for me. So at 52, I studied with him. So he said to me, Frank, where do you want to start? I said from scratch. Like I don't know the guitar. I want to start from scratch. He says, are
Okay.
you kidding? He said, no, I'm serious. So what do you want to study? I said, jazz. I said, I want to
Okay.
study jazz, harmony, theory. I want to do all that stuff because I have plans in my life. I can't do it playing the guitar, playing a 1 6 4 5 changes to oldies. Even though I love the oldies, I've done a lot of that. I played with show bands all over the place. But I said I
Okay.
need to, the major sevens, the major sixes, the 13. I need to know all this stuff. The nines,
Mhm.
the sevenths, raised nines, flat nines. I said I need to know all that, and I need to put it together. I didn't know at the time why I needed to put it together,
Okay.
Corey. So I studied. So about 3, 4 years after I studied with him, I started, writing my own music. I said, well, wow, this is pretty cool. Let me just see what I can do. So
Okay.
actually in 2010, I released my first album, which is called Reminiscence.
Smooth reminiscence. Right.
Smooth Reminiscence, which is a lot of straight ahead jazz, straight
Right.
ahead, no
Right.
smooth, straight ahead, which is, which is my it's my background. That's what I studied,
Okay.
and I do a lot of that stuff. And if you listen to my albums, I'll sneak one of those songs on there on purpose for
Okay.
my benefit. Okay,
Gotcha.
I love
Okay.
smooth jazz, and I love music in general. You
Okay.
know, if you listen to my music, you'll hear Latin, you'll hear rhythm and
Yeah.
blues, you'll hear funk, you'll hear soul. So I do it all, but straight ahead was my beginning. So I
Okay.
did that, and I started putting the music out there. Some radio stations were playing, and I too crazy about it. And then in 2011, I released Sleepwalk, which the title of the song that I put out is Sleepwalk, was originally done by Santo and Johnny, and then back in the 80s it was done by Larry Carlton. Okay,
Right.
Larry,
I remember
he,
that.
he beefed it up. He actually changed keys in that. He went from a C to C sharp or whatever. He changed it. So I said, you know, I need to do that song, but I need to do it like Larry. I need to change keys on that. So that's what I did. I released Sleepwalk, and I started getting a lot of attention, even though it wasn't an original song of mine. It started getting a lot of attention. So now it's forward to 2013. I meet a gentleman named Rod Williams. I don't know if you know Rodney Williams. Do you
I've
know
heard
him?
of him. Don't much,
You got
don't
to
much.
listen. You have to listen to his music. So him and I got together, and I opened up for him, Bob Baldwin, and another great sax player from Texas. I can't think of his name. If it comes to me, I'll give it to you. So we did this show, and Rod Williams' band backed me up. So I said to Ross, you know, I really like this smooth jazz stuff. I said, how do you do it? How do you feel? He goes, Frank, just follow me. So we released, yeah, we released in 2013 a song called "As Smooth as It Gets," and it was
Okay.
all over the charts, all over. Fantastic song. There's two versions of that. There's an extended mix, and it's on my third album, and I need to send you all that stuff. Um,
Okay.
it's a
And the
it's a
third
great.
album was that The Night Speaks? Is that the
The
third
Night
one?
Speaks, yes. Did I send you that?
I think
And
I have that.
as smooth as it gets is on there. There's
Okay.
two versions of it. So
Okay.
we did that. And I started doing some recordings with him. And then in 2017, I started to get a little more funkier with
Yeah.
my feel. I released Keep It Moving.
Keep
And
it moving.
I used one of my songs, Tony Exum Jr., on
Hmm.
yes, on Rush Hour Funk. He's playing
Yeah.
sax on
I know
outrageous sax.
Tony.
Yes. So I started to do that. I released a Latin song in the middle of the night that did well. And Keep It Moving had almost what we called it was disco jazz. Keep It
Okay.
Moving. If you listen to it, you get some feels from the 70s era, which brings me back to the, Saturday Night Fever and stuff, you know?
Right. Staying alive. All that great music.
Yeah. So I released that in 217, 218. Two of those songs appeared on the Grammys voting ballot. Even though I didn't get nominated, I was privileged and honored that they were placed on that for people to vote for, which
Right.
was great. So what happened, what turned out from that was one of my songs was picked up by Bongo Boy Records and put it on a compilation album.
Oh wow.
So it's on that compilation, that record company.
Okay.
So now we're moving from 217 to 220. So I started recording Family Concept
Right.
last year.
Last year.
It was tough because I changed recording studios. And as a matter of fact, it's Armenio Studios and Armenio Records, which I'm on right now. And
Right.
Joey is a great singer. His wife is a great singer. He plays a mean saxophone. He's actually playing the sax on "Love That Smooth Latte." That's him playing
Okay.
Joey.
Right.
So
And Love That Smooth Latte is your current release.
that's the current release. But prior to that, I released Green Lights and Rainbows, and I
Okay.
don't know if I explained what that song was all about, but a
No.
year ago, yeah, a year ago, we lost our brother-in-law, Tony,
Oh.
my wife's brother, to
Okay.
pancreatic cancer,
Okay.
right? And what happened was that prior to him passing, about 6 months, he sent a letter to all his family and friends, and it was titled "Green Lights and Rainbows."
Oh
In
wow.
other words, his thought was that keep going with the green lights. Don't stop for red. Just keep going. And
Yeah.
rainbows, there's got to be something better to life than what we're living now.
Right.
Okay. So I got
Beautiful.
sentimental. I got sentimental over that. So I went into the studio and I started playing this little funky riff. If you have the song, you know what I'm talking about. And I added some horns, and I added a Hammond B3 organ player on there.
Hmm.
Tom Jacobs, great player.
Okay.
And the bass player, believe it or not, Sean O'Brien Smith, um, he's from originally from Tennessee.
Okay.
Uh, he, he was Billy Ray Cyrus's bass player for 15 years,
Okay.
and Kenny Rogers. So he's a good friend of mine. Now he lives in Florida. So he laid down the bass for that. And and then I said to myself, "Well, Frank, that's yeah,
I just, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Frank, but when I hear green lights and rainbows, and I play
yeah,
it a lot on air, and
yeah."
I just wanted to share just a snippet with the,
He's got a nice groove.
yeah. So, you explained to us the inspiration behind green lights and rainbows. Who were some of the artists on the track playing with you, Frank?
Okay, so the inspiration was my brother-in-law. I wrote that for him, and just I'll get to the artist. But what I did was I said, well, everybody's going to listen to that song, but they're not going to know the meaning of that song unless I write lyrics to it. So
Right.
on that album, the last track is the same song with lyrics.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so you might want to throw that one on. So basically on the keyboards is Tom Jacobson. He's playing the Hammond B3 on there.
Okay.
Tom not only did that, but he laid down all the drums and percussion tracks and horns for that.
Okay.
And bass player was Sean O'Brien Smith,
Okay.
originally from Tennessee. Billy Ray Cyrus's bass player for a
Okay.
long
Wow.
time. He's a great bass player. Who am I leaving out? Keyboard, I got the neon guitar, of course. Bass, I got.
Mhm.
So that I think I got all the musicians, right? Did I leave somebody out?
Correct. No, I don't think so. No, you put
I got.
everybody in. You got to.
I think I got it. The lead singer, his name is Michael Shavo, and a gentleman that I worked with for years back in the past, and he worked with I have to say, badass band from New Jersey
Okay.
called um, um, the Infernos. And
Okay.
the Infernos, the lead singer of that, used to be with the Commodores. So
Okay.
he's with them now. So Michael laid that track down for me. So that's the song, and it's it's and here's the album right
Right.
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
What a great album. And also tell them, Frank, so our viewers, if they when they go back and watch, and for those who watch the replay, tell them how they can find you and purchase your music.
Okay, so all my music can be purchased on iTunes. It can be
Okay.
purchased on Apple Music, Amazon MP3.
Okay.
Um, you can get it. You can stream it just about everywhere on Spotify. I have two radio stations of my own that you can stream on Pandora. I have my own station on Pandora, and I have
Okay.
my own station on iHeartRadio.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah,
So there's
and
no reason, ladies and gentlemen, that you can't find Frank's music and support his music. And tonight, I'm truly excited to have him as a special guest on Jazzy After Dark on Artist Talk. And Frank is going to perform a song for us.
you want me to do it now?
Yeah. So if you can go ahead, Frank, and tell us, what you're going to perform for us tonight.
I'm going to tell you the story behind this song. So
Okay.
the artist of the song is Ronnie Jordan, a jazz player, acid jazz player from England that passed away about 4 or 5 years ago of cancer. He was sick, and
Okay.
and what inspired me to use that song was the fact that there's no lyrics to that, but I know After Hours, and I said if I'm releasing an album called Family Concept, then every song has to mean something. So
Right.
what that means to me is After Hours that you put 8 hours of work in, sometimes 10, and you're with
Hmm.
your co-workers all day. Then you come home and you're with your family. Okay, so
Right.
After Hours tells me that you're going to come home with your family, whoever that may be, and
Right.
spend the evening with them, have dinner, spend the night
Hmm.
with them, and then you're back to work the next day. So
Okay.
I really enjoy that song. So let me record this one because
Yeah.
on every one of my albums, I always have a cover song on there to give homage to the
Mm.
people that deserve that. You know, they need
Right.
the credit for this. Yes. And all my cover songs all have mechanical licenses, so I don't need to get in trouble. They all have
Right.
licenses for me to record them. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
Right.
So this song is called After Hours, and I need to get to my track, and I'll start it up.
Okay. Again, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
A little flurry at the end there.
Yeah. Mhm.
So that's After Hours.
You know, one of my favorite songs. You know, Ronnie. You know, Ronnie Jordan. Wow,
Yeah,
just He back in the day,
Yeah.
I've been in radio for a long time. He used to do a lot of radio promo for me.
Did he really?
He really did back
Oh
in
my God.
back in the day. Such a nice guy.
That was a shame that he passed away at such a young age.
I know. Such a young age. And I mean, you play that song just like like
Well,
he's played it.
I don't play like him. I have reviews on that album. They said it came close, but it was
Yeah.
nice. So,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I don't try to be like anybody. I like to play their songs, but I like to
Yeah.
put my own flair,
Yeah.
because if you copy somebody to the T, to me, it's an insult. You just do,
Yeah.
one time they interviewed Frank Zappa, and they said to Frank, they said, "Why don't your solos always sound the same?" He goes, "If my
Mhm.
solos sound the same, I might as well be dead." He goes,
Right.
"How do you put life into something if it's the same over and over again? It's
That's
boring,
true.
it's boring, it's boring." So I feel the same way. If I do a live show, you're going to hear my solos, and they might not be the same twice, but I don't really
Right.
care, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
As long as the melodies are
Mhm.
given, that's fine. But as far as solos go, then you can ad lib and do your own thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Frank, so when you come up with your music and your sound for people watching, what's your inspiration behind your music? Where do you get your inspiration from?
What my inspiration really comes from within. I don't know
Okay.
if I was born. I don't know if I was born with it,
Okay.
because my father played the accordion, my
Okay.
grandfather played the guitar, um, my daughter now plays keyboards and sings. So it
Okay.
might be a music thing, but my true inspiration to jazz, George
Hmm.
Benson.
George Benson. Love
George
George
Benson.
Benson.
Reason is what got me going. Actually, I have Reason on my first album.
Oh
I
wow.
recorded that on
You
my
sure
first
do.
album.
You sure do.
It's on
You
Smooth
sure do.
Reminiscence. Reason is it on that one or is it on Sleepwalk? I'm not sure. It's on one of those albums.
One of those
Whichever
songs.
albums you don't have, I have to get them out to you.
Okay. I know, I have The Night Speaks. I think
Yes.
that's the only one that I have.
Oh, you don't have Keep It Moving?
No.
That's the one that's multi-award winning. You got to have that one. You got
Okay.
to have that. Just, you know what, just inbox me your address at home and I'll get it to you.
Okay, I appreciate that. So,
The
but
only
Frank, besides, George Benson and so many other great artists, did you have any other artists? Who were some of your other inspiration artists? Have you ever worked with George Benson?
No, never did. I wish I could. Some of my other artists are, believe it or not, Santana.
Oh, love him. Yeah,
I
yeah,
do one of the songs on my first album, Europa.
right.
It's
Oh,
on
yeah,
my
I
first
remember
album.
that. Yeah,
And you want to hear something, Corey? There
yeah,
was a
sure.
radio there was a radio station in LA. They used to open up. This is funny. I don't know how it happened. They used my song to open up their smooth jazz. Europa. Every week they started out with that song. I'm going like, but that's not smooth jazz. They said, yeah, but listen to it. It's like it starts off nice and mellow. Then it goes really nuts. I have to send you that album. You have to listen to it. It's like, is
Oh,
that
yeah.
those are a little combination of my rock days and
Hmm.
because if you ever listen to one of my live shows, I can play. We'll do stuff. We'll do stuff from like Moon Dance, you
Hmm.
know, uh, to some of my stuff to Summertime.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
mix it up and stuff like that. But when we do stuff like we'll do Spooky, and we
Okay.
really we jam on that song like you wouldn't believe, and people are going like, "Geez, man, like Frank, I thought you were all mellow." I said, "Yeah, I'm mellow, but when I need to be not mellow, I'm not mellow."
That's right. That's
That's
right.
why
So,
that's why I consider myself before anything else a guitar player.
a guitar
Uh,
player.
Instead of like putting that label on me, you're a smooth jazz player. I can
Right.
I can play some of that stuff and get by with it, but
Hmm.
I like to just put a little bit. So if you listen to Keep 'Em Moving, you're gonna
Hmm.
hear stuff on there that's Latin. You're gonna hear stuff on there that's funk. You're
Right.
gonna hear stuff on there that's smooth, disco jazz. I was telling you about disco jazz. I had a guy
Disco.
say to me, I got to review my album. He said, Frank, that song sounds a lot like that song from '79. I said, yeah, but it's not. it's me. It's got that rhythm. It's got that drum beat, but
Mhm.
it's the melody's not there. It's a different
Right.
melody. He says, "Oh
Hmm.
yeah, I think you got a point there." That album was. I don't know if you ever heard of Rick Scott. He's from L.A.
No, I haven't.
He promoted that album for me 3 years ago, and it got lots of reviews. It got lots of magazine um, write-ups on there, which was really great. So I did that with that album. And with this particular album now, Family Concept, I decided to go radio station promo. So
Okay.
I'm working with smoothjazz.com global
Okay.
and
Global.
see what that song can do. But there's a lot of pretty songs on that album. You know, you heard two of them already. A
Right.
song for my children, song for my children, what I wrote for my kids. That's on
Okay.
there. Uh,
Okay.
and Love's the Way is a little bit it's smooth, but it's a little straight ahead.
Okay.
I wrote them for everyone else, my cousins, my friends. That's the love going out to all of them. So that's
Okay.
why I had to name this album Family Concept. There was no other
Right.
name for this. Oh,
Oh,
and when you funny, this is real. You see the cover in there? Do you have this
yeah.
one that I sent?
I have that one. I think I
Okay,
have it. You know what? No, I don't have that one.
I'll get you that one too. You see the mountains in the back?
I
That's
did.
California. You
That's
know who took
California.
that picture? My cousin. He's a doctor and he's also a freelance photographer.
Wow. When I
And
saw,
then,
I meant to ask you about that in our last conversation. I said, what a beautiful scenery in the background.
yeah, that's the mountains in California. What is the name of this again? I get back to you on that. There's a
Okay.
name for it. But anyway, he lives out in Fresno, and he does a lot of traveling because he's still working, but he's got a big business and he's got a lot of people working for him. He's an endocrinologist, and he's
Okay.
Joseph Hawkins. His mom was my father's baby sister.
Oh
So,
wow.
and not only did he do the cover for this, he also did the cover for The Night Speaks. That's with the
Right.
Venice Canal. He did that because he was in Italy and he took that picture. So
Okay.
he's done that for me, and I really appreciate it. I give him credit inside the cover. And that picture of me on there was superimposed. I did that in the studio with a blue screen, and then
Okay.
they took me and they put me over there.
And they placed you over there in there.
They
Well, I mean, but
placed me
it
right there,
turned out
Corey.
it turned out perfect, Frank.
There was no way I can go out there, especially with this stuff going on. But anyway, just to get back to the album, I started it last year. The only reason it got finished this year in March was because the people the studio they records me, they're professional musicians. They travel a lot. So whenever he's home, I get a chance to go to the studio and record. That's what happened.
Gotcha. Oh, great, Frank. Well, thank you so much for sharing those stories. But I did want to talk about you are a member of the Recording Academy, the Sound
Uh,
Exchange, the International Singer Songwriter Association.
yes,
Uh, you were recently inducted to the 2020 Indie Music Hall of Fame. You were nominated with 2019, 2020 for the East Coast Music Hall of Fame as well.
yes, yes. So I got my fingers crossed for that one for next year. It's going to be at they had to they had to change the date because of the virus and stuff. So they're having it next June at Harrah's Resorts and Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey. So
Okay.
that's what it's going to be, and it's a big to do, Corey. It's a big to do.
Okay.
There's going to be people from the 50s. Like last 2 years ago, I got to meet Connie Francis. She was there. Neil Sedaka is going to be there next year. Um, the Coasters, just name them. People that were so super great that never made it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Never made it. And
Right.
and the people that started this started it because of that. Like,
Right.
why didn't they make it in there? So if they can't make it in, we'll bring them into our organization.
Okay.
So
Wow.
looking forward to that. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and then and keep us posted on that, so maybe you can come back on the show and we can talk about it more.
Yeah, if I get nominated, it would be great. I mean, that's to me, just to be nominated is an honor to be
Yeah,
recognized
yeah.
because out of all the 16 categories, there's only one for jazz.
Only one.
one.
Yeah.
One for
Wow.
jazz, blues, retro. It's a combination of all those different. And there's only one, and I believe I'm up against 6 or 7 other people. So the only reason I got renominated, is because the original date that we had in 2019, I
Hmm.
was nominated in 3 categories, and in
Okay.
2 of those categories, I came in in the third place. So
Okay.
if you come in the top three, you get automatically renominated.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, so that's what
Well, I'm
happened with that.
right. So I'm gonna already put it out there, Frank, that you have already won it. It's already
You
yours.
know, and coming from you, that's an honor also. You know,
You,
and let me tell you something. I don't believe that I'm sitting here doing this, because 10 years ago I would have said this would have never happened. I'm
okay.
also I'm also endorsed by 5 major music companies. The guitar that I'm playing now is a D'Angelico from New York City.
Okay.
They endorse me. So it's crazy. I mean, like I said to my wife, like, whoa, somebody must like me. You know,
No,
God is looking down, they're trying to take care of me. I
that's
don't know.
that's
Maybe.
true.
Maybe
That's
we'll see.
true.
But it's I have to say, it's people like you. Not everyone's like you, Corey. I've met a lot of
Yeah.
people, but
Hmm.
you're down to earth and you're easy to talk to. And I can
Hmm.
tell that from the very first day I spoke to you. There's
Right.
others out there that shouldn't be doing what they're doing, but there's a lot like people like you, individuals like you, that
Hmm.
I'm grateful for. And if it weren't for them sharing
Right.
my music, I don't know, it wouldn't happen. But
Yeah.
I'm really grateful. I'm honored. So
Oh, wow.
when you say you're honored to have me on the show, no,
Yeah.
I'm honored to have you have me on your show.
Oh, I appreciate that, Frank. I'm very passionate about people, and I believe in supporting people. There are so many other artists out here,
Yeah, no, I
mainstream.
know. I follow you.
You, and it's just that, hey, I, I want to get out here, connect people with people like
Yeah,
your music, because people were
yeah,
so excited. It's like I didn't know much about Frank, and then when I played "Love That Smooth Latte," and when they heard that and "Keep It Moving" and "Green Lights and Rainbows," they said, "Where
yeah.
has he been?" I said, "He's been here."
It's very political, and I fought a long battle, especially with playing out live in certain venues that it was almost impossible to do. So I said to myself, I'm just going to stay local. I'm going to play, Philadelphia. I'm going to play no, Pennsylvania. I can't say Philly, Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey. I've traveled. I've played at the convention center in Anaheim, California. I performed there live. I performed on the same stage that the week before Santana was on, and it's the Plaza in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, wow.
So, I've done stuff like that, which makes me really feel good that I did some traveling. Would I like to do that much traveling now? Probably not, because of my age and the situation.
Hmm.
But when I first started this 10 years ago as a solo artist, that was my dream, to kind of do a lot of the different states. But it's
Okay.
fun. I didn't get to do that, but a lot of my music was played worldwide, which is better than playing states.
Right.
You know, I get stuff streamed from like countries like I never heard of.
Right.
I never heard of. I'm going like, well, this is a country. Where's this? So a lot of the content is Africa plays a lot of my music. Uh, you
Hmm.
know, North America, South America plays a lot of my music. Mexico, believe it or not, plays a lot of my Mexico. I'm going like, that's great. The Philippines, name it. But my favorite place is Alabama.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Frank, we have a question here. Someone said, "What was your favorite live performance?"
Me playing live?
Yeah, did someone put a
Okay.
question there?
In 2000, I was 20 years old. I played at the Manhattan Center in New York City for 10,000 people.
Oh, wow.
We opened up for two uh, international recording artists from Italy. They were called the Formula Today. That means the third formula. I guess you could reverse that. And the New Angels, the Nuovi Angeli. So we were on this huge stage, and we were 20 years old, and these guys they came on first. I'm going, I don't want to come on here. No, we went on first. I was afraid. but we were like, we had such a great band. It was an Italian American band, and
Okay.
the guy who was producing us was a DJ of a radio station. He was going to take us
Mhm.
to Europe on tour. He passed away 2 weeks after that.
Oh, wow.
He
Hmm.
died, and
That's
that
right.
was the end of our career. Yeah, that was the end of that. So,
Mhm.
we came close. I had a great time with that. I mean, to be in front of that many people. But I have friends that perform in front of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, and they just shake their heads. Madison Square Garden. I have a friend of mine.
Mhm.
He plays piano for Romeo Santos. You ever hear him? He's a
No, no.
Dominican superstar. He sells out Madison Square Garden.
Oh,
So
wow.
the keyboard player, the same friend of mine that laid tracks down on the Tino's theme that I wrote on Keep It Moving, which I'll send you.
Mhm.
It was
Okay.
called Al Dente, Tino's theme, because my
I
grandson,
remember that.
yeah, but the piano player is Joaquin Diaz, which he's
Oh,
the
wow.
music director for the superstar, from Dominican Superstar. Now,
Okay.
when I talk to him, he says to me, Frank, you're doing well. I'm doing well. Look what you're doing. So, how people are just so nice that way. They make you feel like, oh, you're doing okay, but they don't want to say that they're like, in front of hundreds. How many people you think does Madison Square Garden hold? A lot,
Uh,
right?
yeah, a lot.
Probably 30,000. Because Billy Joel loves that place. He's before the virus, he was there once a month.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Mhm.
50, 60,000, I guess. I didn't really know.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. And not only that, Joaquin got to play for Obama when he was president.
Oh, okay.
He got to perform for him. So to
Learn
me,
something new every day.
I look at him like he's a superstar, but he's so down to earth. School teacher, just like me, school teacher. I taught for
Yeah,
30 years.
30 years.
30 years
So,
I taught math.
so what's next for you, Frank? What's next? Is it more music? What's coming up? Any
to
live
get
dates?
to get to meet you live.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm telling you, my aunt lives in Birmingham. I keep saying that you're in you're in Montgomery. She's in Birmingham. How far is
Right.
that from? How far are you
Uh,
from each other?
an hour and 30 minutes.
When I go see her, which I've done on occasions, I'm going to give you a call and meet you halfway or whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
But
please do.
my inspiration is to keep writing songs.
Okay.
um, as long as I can. I have some arthritis in my fingers. I have to, constantly take stuff like Advil and stuff, and but that's comes with age.
Right.
I don't take anything serious. I just take over the counter stuff,
Yeah.
Tylenol, that, and it's okay. It's okay. So my back is not that great. A couple of discs that probably need working on. Um,
Yeah.
so would I be able to do a show? I like to do. I was going to do a CD release party for this album. I never got to do it because of COVID-19. But
Well, hey,
maybe
well, just
whenever
let me know, Frank. We could do the CD release party live right here.
that's a great because I have the place already, and we can stream it live when we're doing it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we
I'll
could.
get
Hey, we could.
I'll get back to
We
it.
can stream
That
it
would be
live, Frank.
that would be great. That's I have everybody. I have a band. It's just we haven't gotten together in such a long time now. It's amazing. And my daughter Veronica, she fronts the band. She's the singer. My daughter.
Okay, right. So
We've got
next
a
time
great
we'll
band.
have to have Veronica come on with you, and maybe she can sing us some songs with her beautiful voice.
You'll love it. She's got an Amy Winehouse song. I don't know Amy Winehouse.
I love Amy Winehouse.
She's got that type of voice, man. She's so
Oh,
good,
wow. Yeah.
So it is what it is, and I hope I have a new song that I've just finished writing. I'm gonna go into the studio soon, but you know what genre it is? It's
No,
reggae. Reggae.
reggae. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear that. I can't wait to hear
I
that,
wrote a
Frank.
reggae song and it's dynamite. I said I have to do it. I have to do it. I have to do it. So I did.
Yeah.
I just have to get it. I got to get the musicians in and get it done. But pretty soon, pretty soon.
Pretty
And that'll
soon.
be the start of my sixth album.
Oh, wow. Well, I can't wait to hear that, Frank. And one last question before
Sure.
I let you go, Frank.
Sure.
Just for anyone, and I mean, you've been in this business a long time.
long time.
And someone watching, eager to get into this business, whether jazz artist, music artist, what's
Yeah.
the best advice that you could give them or you
Okay.
have been given?
Be persistent.
Okay.
Practice, practice, practice. Never quit. Never take no for an answer from anybody. Because if I did that, I wouldn't be where I am today. People
Oh,
told
wow.
me, Frank, you're too old. You're not going anywhere. I said, watch me. I'm going to prove you wrong. That's my goal in life is to prove people wrong.
Right. Right.
You know,
Oh,
where
wow.
does where does the where, you know where the world is a way. I believe in that. With God's help, you can do it. Whatever
You
you
can
can
do it.
dream, anybody's listening. Whatever you dream, make it come reality. So if
Right.
you're a sax player, if you're a guitar player, you're a bass player, you're a drummer, and you're starting out and you're fresh and you're young and you look out and you go like, what chance do I have? Look what's going on in the world. Don't give up. Just be
Don't give up.
persistent in your trade, with your skills, and just like I said, never take no for an answer because you don't know. If you take no and you back away, you'll never know if you can make it or not. You never
That's true.
know.
You do.
And there's somebody that gave you that information is going to say, "Yeah, I told you it wasn't going to make it." Yeah, because I listened to you, but I'm not listening to you, and I'm here today talking to you because of people like you that made it possible. Didn't say to me, Frank, "I'm not playing your stuff. You're too old." Nobody.
Right.
Only the ones that I wanted to work with on the road said to me, "You can't do it. You're too old, Frank. Give it up."
Oh,
Okay.
wow. All
I'm
right.
not
I,
mentioning any
I,
names.
I,
That's the way
I
it
believe in
goes.
that, in perseverance and being persistent. And I
Yeah,
think it's also
perseverance, being persistent. Practice.
being persistent.
Practice is the thing.
Practice.
Practice, even if you can get 20, 30 minutes a day. But, it's funny, as a kid growing up, I never practiced. That's probably why I was never a great guitar player. So when I started studying with this guy, Sandy, I was practicing an hour and a half a day. My fingers were starting to bleed. And then
Oh,
they
wow.
got to the point where the calluses was so hard that it was no big deal. I was like not even getting tired. My dexterity was just great. And I said, man, I could have done that when I was 15, when I first started taking lessons. Maybe it would have been a different ball game today. But you can't cry over spilled milk. Let's carry on
That's
for
right.
what we have now. Right? You
That's
can't.
right. You can.
Can't cry. So
You
that's
can.
it. The only
That's it.
thing I can say is I thank you for having me on the show. I had a great time and you're the
Yeah.
best.
I
And so is
appreciate that.
Dwight. So is Dwight. Tell Dwight I told him.
I would definitely tell him that. I would definitely. And for all those listening, Frank, I don't want to put you on the spot. I'm good about putting people on the spot, Frank. But is there anywhere can you play a little bit of "Love That Smooth Latte"? Do you have that where you could play it?
I don't have the track to that, and
Okay.
I have so many players on that song
Okay.
that it's a little difficult because
Okay.
my parts in there. See, um, uh, the song I just did for you, it's all guitar through the whole song,
Okay.
right? But the other
Right.
one, if you listen to it, there's sax, there's piano in the middle, there's saxophone in there. So if I play a little melody, it takes away from the song. I'd rather have everybody here and do it for you live.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna play a snippet. I'm just gonna play a snippet for
Play
those.
it,
I
play
have
it,
it
play
right
it,
here.
yes, play it.
I'm gonna play just a little bit. Let's see. Hey guys, I just wanted to play just a snippet of it for him, Frank,
No,
because
yeah.
hey guys, I
And,
want you to go out and purchase Frank's music. His latest release is "Love That Smooth Latte." You can get on all music platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, right, Frank?
yes, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon MP3, all the streaming sites like Spotify, Pandora. uh, iHeartRadio. I think there's so many out there. I can't even mention them all, but you'll find
Right,
them. I'm
right,
probably on all of them.
right.
Uh, but
And you
also
can.
the song, that song was written for my youngest grandchild,
Okay.
which loves milk. He loves milk.
He loves
So
me.
in parentheses, in the back of the song, it's Nico's theme. I don't know if you've seen
Right.
it.
I saw that Nico's theme.
Nico is my youngest grandchild.
Okay.
Tino, the one I wrote for Al Dente, Tino's theme, that's on the CD that I'm going to send you. Keep it
Okay.
moving. I
Okay.
wish I had. I wish I had the background track for Love That's Mulata. Then I can probably play it. I don't have that background. I have it with me playing, so it doesn't make sense for me to play it again if you have it. This
I
one
understand.
here, I just happen to have the track because I believe it or not, I recorded this song 3 years ago. I never put it on an album of
Oh wow.
After Hours. So what I used to do is I took myself out, and when I used to do small clubs by myself, I used to use the background to play along with it. But I never had the chance to do it with these new tracks. My studio does it for me. Like I
Okay.
have like I have Keep It Moving, Rush Hour Funk, any of those I could probably play along with the tracks because there's only a guitar on there. So
Yeah.
for me to play the other one and just have to listen to all the other things, not that they're nice, not to, but as a guitar player, sometimes, I do it because you know what? No man is an island. I figured that all these people on my album, I figure if it's going to go anywhere, it's because of their help. Now
Right.
I could be someone who says, well, let me play guitar through the whole album. Let me do rides until my fingers turn blue. But then to me, it's boring. It's boring because it doesn't show the colors. The colors.
Right.
When you listen to that piano player. That's Donnie Harrell. That's my keyboard player, Donnie. He's my
Okay.
keyboard player. Okay.
Okay.
The bass player is also another is my bass player. He's from New Jersey. So a lot of those people on that particular track, they mean a lot to me. The sax player Joe Arminio, I recorded a studio. I said to Joe, I was even going to put sax on there. I said, Joe, can you put an intro for me? So he puts
Mm-hmm.
the intro. Then I said to myself, I just can't have a sax intro. People are going to listen. They're going to look for another part of the sax coming in. So
Right.
I don't know. Did I send you the radio edit or the full CD?
I, I I think you sent me the full. I don't have the radio edit.
I have a radio edit that cuts him out at about 20 seconds. Okay,
Okay.
because some stations will not play more than maybe 4 minutes. I'm pushing 440 on that one. So
Okay.
I sent it to smoothjazz.com. They said they can work with that. Or else I would have to cut him out altogether.
Oh
And
wow.
I don't like to do that. So originally when I sent the track out to radio stations, I sent the whole thing, not thinking that's 5 minutes and 15 seconds. They're going to say, I'm not playing that. It's too long. But you
Right.
didn't do that. See,
Right.
because you listened to the whole thing and you know that sax at the end makes a big deal to that song.
Oh, it makes them very important.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So for me, like, in my first album, if you listen to my first one, it's just me playing, all guitar through the whole thing, first album.
Okay.
And then the second one, I started adding some vibraphones, some keyboards to do some solos. Then when I got into my third one, I started working with Rob Williams. I used him on sax on a lot of the songs on there. I said, that sounds really nice. Who am
Right.
I kidding? I'm not on an ego trip. I'm not on an ego trip, Corey. I am not.
Right.
I could give less. As long as my music is liked for the whole thing, and will makes the colors come out in the song. That's all I care about. I'm the
Right.
writer of the songs. I'm the one that composed those songs.
That's right.
You know.
Again, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Our special guest tonight here on Artist Talk is national recording artist, Mr. Frank PIOMBO. Thank you so much, Frank,
Thank you,
uh,
Corey. Thank you.
for coming
Thank
on
you
the
so much.
show. Uh, we know more great things are in store for you and your great music. And I thank you for sharing your gift, not only with me, but allowing me to share it with the world.
Well, I'm so honored to have that done, and you stay safe, and we'll keep in touch. And don't forget, send me your mailing address again so I can
Okay.
mail you out whatever you don't have.
Okay. I will do that.
Okay?
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
Good
so
night.
much, Frank. Good night.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Hey everyone, thank you so much tonight. Again, I'm your host, Jazzie K. Ward, for Jazzy After Dark Artist Talk. Thank you so much. Our special guest, national recording artist and composer, Mr. Frank PIOMBO. Thank you for everyone who joined in on the show. Please share the video, go back and watch the replay. So next time, don't forget to join me on next Monday, same place, right here, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And don't forget to go to kwardradio.com and subscribe your email. Again, make sure you tell someone you love them today. Tomorrow's not promised to any of us. Okay? Take care of yourself. Until we talk again, good night.